So hi guys, good morning, good afternoon. Of course, this depends on where you're watching from. You could be watching this video on an afternoon, so good afternoon. If you're watching this video in an evening, good evening. And if you're watching in the morning, good morning. So my name is Zippy. I go by the name Zippy the Nurse on YouTube because I'm your favorite nurse. The reason as to why we are here is because, as usual, we normally say in this channel, we meet to enlighten each other, to educate each other, because I'm so enthusiastic about, community enlightenment and stuff. So I just thought, let's talk today, let's meet today and see what are the challenges or what are these things, some of the psychosocial challenges that people go through, or that I went through during my transition when I moved here, like during the transition of the seasons and stuff. And I was just thinking, there's this thing that I've been thinking, because when we came here, if you're new here, I am a nurse by profession. I've been practicing in Kenya for the last many years. I know I've said it so many times, but if you're coming across this channel for the first time, I've been a nurse in Kenya. I come from Kenya, and I was practicing in Kenya as a nurse. I'm still practicing as a nurse in North Carolina. I recently relocated, and I thank God for the milestone so far. So the reason as to why I am here, it's because when we came here, there's some people used to tell us, in America, it's very easy for you to get depressed simply because we got no social life. And then there are so many factors that could affect your daily living. There are so many factors that could affect there's so many factors that could also affect your psychosocial aspect of the whole thing. Let's talk about a nurse who has immigrated from Kenya or from Africa to here. We all know that in America we have different seasons of life, or different seasons of weather, or different seasons of how you want to call it. Like we have spring, we have autumn, we have fall, we have winter, we have summer, and all that kind of a thing. So during summer, of course, it's very hot. If you come from Kenya, there are some parts which are a bit hot. And then during winter, it is extremely cold for some states in North Carolina, in America. And what is this thing doing? Forgive me for that. And if you're coming from cold parts of Kenya, like I normally joke and say I'm from North Kinangop, like Kwangodi and stuff. It's because I live there, so I understand it's very cold, and you understand it's very cold, but it's not as cold as it can get in America. In the recent past, like in the last few months, we experienced hurricane that was in September in North Carolina, which was so devastating because people lost lives, people lost so many things, so many properties, money, and everything was involved. It was devastating. May their souls rest in peace for those who were left. I think it's something that people have not come into terms with it. Then we came to another season of snow. Allow me to switch off that. Sorry, before I got distracted, I'm cooking githeri for those people who know githeri, so that's why I wanted to switch it off. So I was talking about hurricane, how it affected people, and there are some people who have not come into terms with that. It was really devastating. For somebody coming from Kenya, we have never experienced these seasons. I think it was something that would make you even feel like you want to go back home because of the nice weathers that we normally have back home. But then that's not even something to think about. We came back to normal, like things came back to normal, but then Ghafla bin Vu, we were hit by snow. I did a video, guys, and showed you how it is driving in the snow, how snow it is. For me, that was my first time experiencing snow. Like I had never seen or touched snow with my own eyes or with my own hands. So it was a nice experience, But then again, to some extent, it is not like, it is not the best if in excess, just like with the way we normally say too much of something is poisonous. So if it is snowed more than 3 days, I think it would have been bad, but it only snowed for like few hours and then melting back, it was kind of a process. So that's not why we are here. So the reason as to why I'm taking you through those seasons is because as it happens like that, there are some changes that are also taking place in your body. I'm a nurse, so I will talk in relations to the hormones that are produced in our body. And this brings me to a girl, like a lady who told me that during winter, people get depressed, people get so moody, people get, that all that kind of a thing. So you need to protect yourself from slipping into depression, because there are so many people who slip into depression and they don't come back during those cold seasons. And I was like, during this season, I know most of you have been asking me, Zippy, where have you been? And then there's a live that I went live and I was trying to fumble words and say that, oh, it's nini, but then people are like, no, Zippy sema ni kazi, sema ni kuomoka. No, let me tell you, I think I was also going through that phase of kind of depression. I don't know. So I was doing some research and I realized that there's something we call seasonal affective disorder. We'll talk about 2 things involved. We have actually 3 things involved. We have sunlight, and then we have hormones in our body. We have serotonin and we have melatonin. Serotonin is a hormone, or it's a neurotransmitter that is involved in mood, appetite, and sleep regulations in our body. So when there is reduced sunlight, that means it will also affect the production of that neurotransmitter. So what will happen? If it is involved in making you feel better, one second, guys. So guys, what was I saying? I was saying we have serotonin and we have melatonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that's involved in the mood regulation, appetite regulation, and sleep regulation in our bodies. So when there is reduced sunlight, it reduces the production of the serotonin in our body. And then we have another hormone called melatonin. Melatonin levels are also affected by the sunlight exposure. So if there is reduced sunlight, that means there will be increased production of the melatonin. So what's the function of melatonin? The function of melatonin is to induce sleep, or like it's involved in the circadian rhythm. So hold it up to that point. When you're a nurse, you're coming from Kenya, just know that Kenya is ahead, or Africa is ahead of America by 7 or 8 hours. Like right now we are behind you guys, because most of my viewers are in Africa. We are behind you guys with 7 hours. I think we moved an hour backward like 3-4 days ago, and I was explaining that in a live video, which I got confused. We moved forward with an hour. You guys were ahead of us with 8 hours, but right now you are ahead of us with 7 hours. So now in this case, there is a reduced sunlight. So when it's dark, there is increase in melatonin levels. So what happens if you have increased melatonin levels in your body? That means you will feel sleepy all the time. And remember, there is also a compromise in production of the serotonin levels. So what will happen to the serotonin levels? They will reduce your mood. They will reduce your appetite. You don't want to eat. You don't want to sleep, because it has reduced it. If the serotonin levels are decreased, that means you will have mood disorders, you'll have decreased appetite, you'll have increased sleep, you just want to sleep all the time. And then remember also you have that aspect of melatonin. So what will happen during winter? It is very cold. You don't even get exposure to sunlight. So your circadian rhythm has been affected. And as I had told you, hold it up there. Remember your nurse, you're behind with 7 hours or 8 hours. Then when you come here, you're given night shifts. back home you're used to doing like, you used to do like shifts, like, you know, the mixed shifts and stuff. Because like me, where I was working, I used to work like mixed shifts, not like I'm working night shifts throughout. Like since I came here, I only worked days during the first initial phase of orientation. Then I switched to nights because that's what my contract read. So remember, the body is also confused. It's trying to adjust so many things, and then again, boom, here is winter. You don't get exposure to sunlight. Sunlight gives you vitamin D, so you are lacking vitamin D in your body. And then with the reduced vitamin D, with the reduced sunlight, it reduces vitamin B metabolism, or I don't know, whatever you call it. So then there will be reduced mood regulation, disruption of serotonin activity. So I think the reason as to why people suffer from seasonal affective disorder, which is associated with reduced sunlight exposure, it's because there are no activities that you can go outside and do it. I am talking out of experience. Me, ever since we entered into the season of winter, I've been feeling like I just don't want to do anything. I just want to stay in bed. I just want to get married to a rich man and sleep the whole day. Like, I just don't want to do anything. Like 2 days ago, when we had gone to Charlotte with my kids, like, you know, there's a difference that you feel when you see the sun. I didn't know this is how important the sunlight is. You know, the things that we take for granted. You know, the things that you see in Africa and you're like, oh, isinijua too. Like, you know, see, it's just sunlight, you know. Let me tell you guys, when you come here or when you're here and you experience the same thing, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself mentally. That's the most important thing. And then remember, when all these things are happening, the body is also getting confused. Like so much is going on in your environment. Like when you're in the house, it's kind of an artificial environment. That's how I call it, because you see, you've put the AC on because you want to increase the heat. And then when you go to work, it's the same thing. It's like an artificial environment at the same time. Then when you're in the car, like I said the other time, it's also like sort of an artificial environment as well. So like everywhere it's artificial. Like there's none that is natural at all. There's none that's natural. So what will happen to your body? It will also get confused. Like I've mentioned, if you want to Google and read more for you to understand what I'm talking about, I think most people, when they come here, I think most people, when they come here, I am not an expert, guys. Remember, I normally say I'm talking to you guys in relation to what I feel I've been going through, or what I feel will make sense to somebody who is feeling the same. So what are you going to do? Make sure you take your vitamin D during that winter season or whatever, like that cold season. Take care of yourself mentally. If you have people you feel like you want to vent out, please talk to them. Eat nicely. Like, you know, take care of your meals, like, you know, because here also, owing to the fact that there is reduced, however much we say that we walk at work, like walking, ile kutembea, I don't know why, for some reason, yani, the changes that goes through in the body, there's so much that you even get constipated, guys. You see, the things that I'm telling you, you take for granted. Constipation is something that was not in my book of whatever when I was back home. But nowadays, it's order of the day. So when you see them eating those, you know, vegetables, like those salads, you have to love salads. Like me, when I was coming from home, I used not to love salads. But now I am a fan of salad because at least it's fiber. Because again, I don't want to be constipated and then end up getting the laxatives, because that's the order of the day in America. Fun fact, almost, even if you go to, like, you know, I don't want to, like, because of HIPAA and stuff, but it's a common drug in your everyday, like a laxative is a common drug in your everyday supplements. So guys, if you're there and wondering, why am I feeling this way? I feel so different. It's because the sun is back. you're not depressed anymore, you're feeling like you're just fine, because I felt some kind of like nimeamka, ni kama nimeamka. It's like I've been sleeping for the last 4 months, because I think season ya winter ilianza lini? Tulianza kufeel baridi after hurricane. Aki mimi hata niko na amnesia. I think nowadays I have an amnesia or something. So after that time I started feeling like ama this America also, hata kama nilikuwa na yap nasema America ni nzuri, I think it's not, because I'm feeling depressed. And then, you know, owing to the fact that maybe like you don't have good support system, because of course, you know, when I say you don't have good support system in America, you understand what I mean, if especially you're coming from Kenya, because back home your family is there, your mom is maybe near you, your brothers are near you, like everybody is near you. Then when you come to America, it's just you, your children, and your husband or your spouse, and that's it. Neighbor, you don't even know what the neighbor puts on, like how joining a neighbor, you see. So I was feeling like it's important for me to pose this question to you guys out there. If you're in America, did you ever suffer from seasonal affective disorder when you were transitioning? Like, did it affect you? Because I feel like to some extent I think it has affected me, but right now I feel like I am awake, ni kama nimeamka. I remember when we were in high school, like mimi unajua sikuwa high school, nilikuwa hiyo shule nyingine sitaki kusema. Unajua nasikianga mkisema kuna polling station na kuna group of schools. Me, I was not in group of schools. I was in that, we used to call it Kajinga High School. Not that I'm trying to diss it, but that's a common name that we used to give people like those from those. Nowadays they have upgraded it to polling station, but then those days during our time we used to say you're in a provincial school ama you're in a Kajinga High School. So mimi nilikuwa kwa hiyo shule hiyo ingine hata haijulikani ni gani. So we used to say, as in when the maths teacher come in class after lunch hour, you know, that maths lesson that follows after lunch hour, and then all the blood supply is going back to the GIT system. I mean, I believe it happens to everybody. And then kidogo kwanza kukua na giza, your mood changes. You just start looking at the teacher starts disappearing. Alafu kama wewe unakuanga na some illusions, unaanza kuona mwalimu ameanza kuchange sura, like anaanza kukua mtu mwingine, unashangaa sasa huyu ndiye anatufundishanga vitu kama hizo, like you know what I'm saying. You start getting depressed pole tu. And then lesson ikiisha, hivyo ndo watu wanakuanga hapa. Lesson ikiisha sasa ni kama na feel lesson imeisha. It's like we are done with that lesson of mathematics. But I've been feeling so low. I am suffering from constipation. I'm suffering from sleep, confusion and stuff. Like, I don't know what I've been feeling. But guys, I'm posing this question out there. When you were transitioning from Africa to America, did you feel some type of way, like you're kind of depressed, like you're kind of feeling home, you're feeling food from home, una miss mutura, kama mtu amevaa jacket chafu? You know, here, everybody ni wasafi, like quotes and quotes. Ngozi yao ni ile ya thao. So hakuna mahali utawahi patana na ule kama huwa Joroge amevaa ile koti yake ya white, alafu iko na, you know, at the pocket sides ikiwa inafanana vile inatakanga, vile Mungu alisema, sijui kama ni Mungu ama ni nani alisema hiyo jacket yake ikaange hivyo. But you understand what I'm saying. So like those are the kind of things that you want to see with your eyes close to you, you know. I don't know guys if it was the same to you, but for me, I think I have experienced it. I remember during my first videos, I used to make a video and somebody commented and said, zipi wengoja bills zitakuja utaanza kukua. Mimi hata si bills zimenishtua, juu hata Kenya bado we had bills. But the depressive mood that comes with the weathers, I don't know, I think it's just something else. So anyway, I was making this video to enlighten somebody who might be wondering, why am I feeling this way? Maybe you're suffering from a seasonal affective disorder. Sad. Make sure you reach out to your friends, talk to them, vent out, take care of yourself in terms of supplements. You will need supplements. When you're taking that laxative because you're constipated during the transition period, remember also to take your vitamin D and vitamin C. Whatever you're lacking, whatever your body is lacking, it's gonna affect your moods. Without wasting so much of your time, let me say thank you so much. If you've been following it from day one, like you've been with us, you stuck with us, God bless you so much. I don't take you for granted. We are back like we never left. You know, you guys used to ask me, Zippy, where are you? Zippy, where are you? And I'm like, hey, these people, I wish they knew me. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. Like, just do my 3 days, nikuje nilale. I'ma do my 5 days. Like, there is a month I did 6 nights. And 6 nights, I don't mean like every single day of my life. When I said that in another live, somebody was confused and they were like, "Ay, Zippy, how?" What I used to do is, I do the 3 days for the agency, like for my employer. And then the other 3 days, I work the shorter shifts. Shorter shifts, I used to take them up in a nursing home. That's why I basically call it like six nights. And of course, because remember the first videos, I used to say, things will not be the same as they were back home. But again, they will not be where you want them to be because you're not receiving enough money. So you need some supplemental income. You need a supplemental income. Supplemental income inamaanisha when you paid the 3 days, especially during the orientation, you need some other money out there. You need to source up some money out there for you to, like to feel like your bills are making sense. So it's the same thing I used to do. I take up a shift from 11 p.m. up to 7 in the morning. So that makes sense. That makes sense in Aleman's language. Like, makes sense. Not that I will work from the whole day up to the whole day. So I still have ample time with the kids. I still have ample time for my body to rest. And I still have ample time to make an extra coin because especially if you're a single parent, you need to work extra hard for you to get that thing, If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. If you know, you know. So bottom line is, punchline is, please take care of yourself mentally. Please make sure, I wanted to mention this. Please also make sure that during, what I've realized is, American system is built or is made in a way that even if it's during cold season, they will still have a way of having activities that can help you navigate through your depressive moods, euphoric moods and stuff. How? If you love extra curricular activities, if you love outdoor activities, if you love, those activities that makes your body, like, you need to be active. You can still go for indoor swimming. You can still go for, like, activities that will make your brain active, like the way we had gone for bowling the other time with my kids. And then you can also for indoor golfing. There are so many activities that you can do inside. Make sure you take your time with your family, spend some quality time together. Because you see, the moment you're bonding, that time you guys are bonding, it's also helping you mentally. Guys, I didn't want to make this video longer. The only thing I want to leave you with, guys, is if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so, because we are back like we never left. We are out of the depressive mood. We are fine. Everything is going on well. I think I had lied to you guys that I was okay. I was not okay. I was going through some depressive moods. No, I am fine. I'm just pulling your leg. Anyway, guys, see you and God bless you. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that share button if you feel this video will help somebody out there. And if you're a nurse and you've not started this journey, please, I beg you, please do something for yourself. If not for yourself, do it for your children or do it for your grandchildren. There are some words that you normally hear people saying, sasa nyanya yangu walikuanga wapi? Saa zingine watu wengine wakiolewa na wazungu. Babu yangu, watu wakipewa mashamba Nairobi alikuwa wapi? Such kind of a thing. Please don't be that person. Your great grandkids will come and say, sasa shushu yangu alikuwa wapi? Mbona hakuenda majuu? Na alikuanga nurse. Na hiyo time nurses walikuwa naenda majuu. I'm talking to you. You can make a difference. Change starts with you. If you want the world to change, start with yourself. If you want to change Kenya, start with you. If you come out here, make money, and then go back, live a good life, you have made a change for so many people who are behind you. Bottom line is, guys, nawapenda sana. Thank you so much. We are back like we never left. This is the 5th time I'm saying that because we are out of SAD. We are out of SAD. SAD makes you sad. Seasonal Affective Disorder. Did Zippy suffer from that? I think she did. See you guys and God bless you. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good whatever. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. By the way, let me tell you guys, before I leave, subscribing that does not cost you. I think there are some people who normally subscribe today and then tomorrow they're like, this thing is deducting money from me, and then they unsubscribe. Or they maybe they unsubscribe by mistake. The more you subscribe, guys, the more we get a bigger audience, the more we are able, even me pia, nitakuwa encouraged kuwatengenezea videos. Guys, the only thing you can do bana is chukua hiyo simu ya babako, subscribe, mwambie kuna huyu msichana anaitwangwa Sipi anafanyanga kazi kule North Carolina bwana. Mpeko subscription ni bure yawa. Jamani serikali saidia. Hata munifikishe yeko 5,000. Munifikishe yeko 5,000 at least YouTube ianze yako kunilipa. And please don't skip the ads as well. As you subscribe, don't skip the ads. I may be a road to earning. I'm already monetized, by the way. I didn't tell you guys. I got monetized. But because you guys are not watching the ads, I'm not getting paid. I think I only have like $20. Imagine. $20 in my account? Hiyo ni kama 2,000. Guys, surely. Msikue hivyo. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sticking with me. More to come. Bye.